welcome back to the channel and welcome to another TBR video. So it is October. I didn't do a TBR video last month because, as some of you may or may not be aware, I got married at the beginning of September and then went away on my honeymoon. So I didn't think a TBR was going to be doable, so I just didn't do one because I knew I wouldn't have that much time to sit down and get any reading done. And it is, as of the time of recording this video, it is now the 13th of October and I'm only just doing my TBR now because it was also my 40th birthday 2 weeks ago at the beginning of the month. And again, I was quite busy with family and plans to even consider getting a TBR set up and running. But we're here today and I've got a very overambitious TBR, but I will explain to you why that is. So first off, I'm just going to show you the size of my TBR list. I'm just going to switch over and show you it now, and then I'll explain why it's such an overly ambitious list. So this stack of books here is my current TBR. Now I've got them all facing this way because I don't want to give you any spoilers. Although if you are an avid reader of this particular series, I think you might know what these ones are. So why do I have such an ambitious TBR list? So as you can see, my TBR list is huge and there is a reason for this. So what I'm going to do is, because I didn't do a TBR list for September and I'm starting this one in the middle of October, it is going to be technically a 2-month or a month and a bit TBR list. So I'm starting this as of tomorrow, because I've got a current book on the go that I want to finish tonight. So tomorrow I will start the TBR list and that'll be the 14th of October and I'm going to run that all the way through to the end of November as well. So my next TBR list won't be until December, ready for Christmas. So that being said, I want to show you what I have on my TBR list and why. So I'm going to start with this pile, which is this rather multicoloured looking pile. So I will show you which books these are. So these are books by Richard Osman and it is the Thursday Murder Club series. So there are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are currently 5 books in this series. Now, I have read book number 1. I read this a while ago. I did a reading vlog on it and I really enjoyed it. So I have gone out and got all the rest of the books in the series. If you don't know what the Thursday Murder Club is, then this is a story about a group of elderly people who are living in like a retirement village. And they all meet up on a Thursday and try to solve like cold cases and murders until usually something happens in their area and they have a real live murder to solve. That happened in the first book and I've got the rest of the books to get through. So I will briefly show you what the rest of the books are. So book number 2 is called The Man Who Died Twice. So this is a book number 2 and it is following on from the Thursday Murder Club, and what it says inside is: Elizabeth has received a letter from an old colleague, a man whom with she has long history. He needs her help. His story involves stolen diamonds, a violent mobster and a very real threat to his life. As bodies start piling up, Elizabeth enlists Joyce, Ibram and Ron to hunt down the ruthless murderer, as if they find the diamonds too, well, wouldn't that be a bonus? But this time they are up against an enemy. Can Thursday Murder Club find the killer before the killer finds them? So I actually forgot that I started this book, so I've put this in as the the bookmark for now. I'm actually on page 16, and as soon as I read that, I did remember, yes. So the first book for my October/November TBR is going to be The Man Who Died Twice. And that brings us on to book number 3. Now this book is called The Bullet That Missed. So this is book number 3 of the same series. And for book number 3, it says, "It is an ordinary Thursday and things should finally be returning to normal, except trouble is never far away for the Thursday Murder Club. A decade-old case leads them to local news legends and a murder with a body and no answers. Then a new foe pays Elizabeth a visit. Her mission, kill or be killed." So that sounds really exciting, so I can't wait to get into that one. And that is book number 3. And book number 4 is The Last Devil to Die. So this one gives a brief description. It says, "Shocking news reaches the Thursday Murder Club as an old friend in an antiques business has been killed and a dangerous package he was protecting is now gone missing. As the gang spring into action, they encounter art forgers, online fraudsters and drug dealers, as well as a heartache close to home." So that is book number 4 on my 2-month TBR list. And then the last book in the Thursday Murder Club series is the brand new book that has just come out, which I could not wait to go and buy the other day. And I grabbed my copy while I had the chance. And this one is called The Impossible Fortune. So this one says, "Who has time to think about murder when there's a wedding to plan? It's been a quiet year for the Thursday Murder Club. Joyce is busy with table plans and first dances. Elizabeth is grieving, Ron is dealing with family troubles, and Imran is still providing therapy for his favourite criminal. But when Elizabeth meets a wedding guest who fears for their life, the thrill of the chase is ignited once again. A villain wants access to the uncrackable code and will stop at nothing to get it." So that is the first 5 books in the Thursday Murder Club. I'm guessing this is not the last one and that there probably will be more that come out. But I've read the first one, so I have 1, 2, 3 and 4 to get through. Hopefully they're not massive books. I mean, they feel a bit chunky and I think that's because they're hardback. But they only have 480 pages, so it really shouldn't take me long to get through the next 4 books in this series. Right, so on to the next pile of books that I want to get reading. And this is the pile here. Again, as you can see, it's quite a big pile. But there is methods to my madness and there is a reason for this pile. So, all of these books are horror/thriller books, and which is why I've been saving them all up for the October spooky season. So, I'm going to go through the books with you now. So, the first book that I have on this list is The Silent Patient by Alex Macclesfield. I think that's how you say his name. So I've had this one on my shelf for ages, but I've been saving it for the Halloween period, and even though I'm starting late, it shouldn't matter. I'm still determined to get these all read. So yeah, this is The Silent Patient. I've seen this mentioned on YouTube and Instagram, and apparently it's TikTok famous, but I don't use TikTok, so I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm sure somebody in the comments can let us know if this was all over TikTok. I think it was. But yeah, this is The Silent Patient, and it says on the back, the #1 New York Times and Sunday Times bestseller. Alicia Berenson lives lived a seemingly perfect life until one day 6 years ago when she shot her husband in the head 5 times. Since then, she hasn't spoken a word. It's time to find out why. That's all it tells us. Now, I know that it is supposed to be quite a freaky book. I love horrors and thrillers and things, so I actually cannot wait to read this book. And the next book I have here is As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. Now, this is the second book in a bit of a series. The very first book was very, very well known, and that is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is book 2 in that same series. Now, I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder a while ago and absolutely loved the book. It was one of my top books so far this year. And I then went on to watch the Netflix show, which was okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. I'm glad I watched it. So yeah, this is book 2, As Good as Dead. So on the back, this one says, Dead Girl Walking. Pip Fitzamaobi is haunted by her last investigation, but soon a new case finds her, and this time it's all about Pip. She has a stalker, one who keeps asking, who will look for you when you're the one who's disappeared? Pip soon discovers a connection between her stalker and a local serial killer, but the police refuse to act. As the dangerous game plays out, it's clear that if Pip doesn't find the answers, she is as good as dead. So that sounds really good to me. It's quite a chunky book, this one. See how many pages it's got, shall we? It's got about 550 pages, so it's quite a big book, but I really enjoyed A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, and I got through it quite fast, so I think I'll eat this one up, and it won't take me that long to read. So yeah, this is part 2 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And speaking of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, we also have part 3. Now this one's called Good Girls Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. So, like I said, this is part 3 of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And this one says, someone is missing, nobody is talking, but this time everyone is listening. Pip Fitzamaobi is not a detective anymore. Her true crime podcast about the murder case she solved last year has gone viral, yet Pip insists her investigating days are behind her. But she will have to go back on her word when someone close to her goes missing and the police can't do anything about it. If they don't investigate, then Pip will uncover more of her town's darkest secrets along the way. But will she find the answers before the time runs out? So as you can see, this book is much shorter, and that sounds brilliant. I actually really cannot wait to read these books. I'm going to struggle to pick where to start with these, I think. But yeah, I really can't wait to read this. So this one's number 3 in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. So that brings our total to, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 books so far on the list, and we have more to go. So last year I picked up a book. I think I read it on my Kindle, and I absolutely loved it. And that book was Butcher and Blackbird. This book is absolutely gruesome. It's, I think it would be classed as a dark romance. It is basically about 2 serial killers who kill serial killers. And the things that they get up to are absolutely grotesque. I can't go into detail because it really is that bad. But I can read you just a few of the trigger warnings. So, here are some trigger warnings for Butcher and Blackbird. Eyeballs and eye sockets. Amateur surgery. that's just a few of the trigger warnings. If you have read this book before, then you will have a very good idea about the cookies and ice cream. But I'm not going to tell you because I'm not going to spoil it, but trust me, when you read this book, you will never ever want to eat cookies and ice creams again for the rest of your life. So, I read this book last year, like I say, and absolutely loved it. So, I picked up the second book. So, this book is called Leather and Lark, and this is part 2 of the Butcher and Blackbird series. And on the back of this book, it says, every killer claims a soul, every phantom wants revenge. All contract killer Lachlan Kane wants is a quiet life. But when he botches a job for his boss, Lachlan knows he'll never claw his way out of the underworld. At least, not until Lark Montague offers him a deal. The catch? He has to marry her, and they can't stand each other. Lark may seem like sunshine personality, but she has her own secrets hiding in the shadows, with her family in a tailspin and her best friend's happiness on the line. She makes a vow to a man she's determined to hate, no matter how tempting the brooding assassin might be. So yeah, that is book 2, following on from Butcher and Blackbird. And I think I forgot to say, but these books, now correct me if I'm saying this wrong, but these books are written by Bryony Weaver. I'll put that there for you. I'm not positive that I'm saying her first name correctly. I think it's Bryony. I'm really sorry if I've got that wrong.
I'm really sorry.
And then the third book. Is everyone getting the hint now that I really like to read books that are in series? That is becoming apparently obvious. Yeah, so I've got the Thursday Murder Club series, I've got the Good Girls Guide to Murder series, and the Butcher and Blackbird series. And yes, so it's really obvious that I like reading series, which means I have to buy all the books. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, back to the book. This is Sythe and Sparrow. Like I say, this is book number 3, Romance, Murder and Chaos. So, this one on the back says, every flight has a landing, every circus has a final curtain. It's one of these books where it's got a really awkward to pronounce name, and I'm dyslexic, and when I can't pronounce a name, I make something up in my head. I know it's wrong, but it's the only way to get through the book because I will struggle every time I see the name I can't pronounce. So, I think this person's name is Fion. I could be wrong. I'm saying Fion because that is easier for me. So, Fion Kane is running from a broken heart, one he hopes to mend in Nebraska. Far from his almost fiancée and his derailed surgical career, it's a simple life, head down, hard work, and absolutely no romantic relationships. He wants none of the circus that he left behind in Boston, but then the Silvera Circus finds him. Performer Rosie Evans has spent a decade on the road with the Silvera, and it suits her just fine, especially when she has the urge to indulge in a little murder and mayhem. But when a kill goes away and she ends up with an injured leg, Rosie finds herself stuck at the home of the adorably nerdy town doctor. The problem is, not every broken heart can be sewn back together, and the longer you stay in one place, the more likely the ghosts are to catch up with you. So again, right up my alley. I'm really looking forward to reading this. So that is 10 books on the TBR, but I've got 2 bonus books that I just want to show you. I'm only going to read these if I get through these. If I don't get through these next 2 books will just be read whenever I've got the chance. So these are like my bonus books, but I'm counting them sort of as part of this TBR just because they're kind of like horror, thriller style type books, and 'tis the season and all that. Yeah, so the next 2 books are, this is a book called Home is Where the Bodies Are. Now, honestly, I don't know anything about this book. I just thought the whole VHS cover of the book was really cool, and I just wanted to buy it for that reason. But also I get the feeling from the blood splatter that this is a horror thriller book. So yeah, Home is Where the Bodies Are, and this is by Geneva Rose. So it says on the back, so the description on the back of this book says, from the multi-million copy best-selling author of A Perfect Marriage comes a chilling family thriller about the somewhat literal skeletons in the closet. Beth's life hasn't worked out the way she planned. After her father walked out on their family with a note simply saying, "I'm sorry," she became obsessed with finding him, an obsession that destroyed her relationship with her husband and her daughter, just as her dying mother left. Beth taking care of her as best as she can until she breathes her final, shocking last words. Your father, he didn't disappear. Don't trust. Still processing these words, Beth receives a surprise call from her sister and has been rushed to hospital. Soon after, she finds both a strange sister and brother returning to the family home. She makes sure to lock her bedroom door at night. Her sister can't be trusted. So, it's not a massive book. As you can see, it's really thin. Probably won't take me long to read. It's 249 pages long. Pretty sure that would technically be a novella, but I don't know for sure. So yeah, that is my first bonus book, and that was Home is Where the Bodies Are. And then lastly on the list, and this is only if I get to it because it's a big book. As you can see, it's a big boy. But I've been wanting to read this for ages, and that is Gone Girl. I saw the advertisement years and years and years ago for the film for this book, and I was dying to watch it, but I'm the sort of person who won't watch the film until I've read the book. And then it took me ages to find the book. And I found the book a few months ago, and I haven't quite got round to it yet. But I've thrown it on the list as a bonus book. It is, like I say, a chunky boy. But yeah, if you're not sure what Gone Girl is, it says on the back, there are 2 sides to every story. Who are you? What have you done with each other? These are the questions that Nick June finds himself asking on the morning of his 5th wedding anniversary, when his wife Amy suddenly disappears. The police suspect Nick. Amy's friends reveal that she was afraid of him, that she kept secrets from him, that he swears this isn't true. A police examination of his computer shows strange searches. It says they weren't made by him. Then there are the persistent calls on his mobile phone. So what happened to Nick's beautiful wife? So that's it. It sounds right up my alley, but it is unfortunately a bonus book, and I don't know if I will get to this book or not, but it is there as a bonus book, which technically makes it book 11 for the 2-month TBR. That is all of the books on the TBR. This is the biggest TBR list I have ever done. This is a huge pile of books that I want to try to read in the next 2 months. So there we have it, guys. That is my humongous TBR that I'll be starting tomorrow morning, and it's going to run through the rest of October and all throughout November. I will do a reading vlog on some of these because a lot of them are series, so I might do reading vlogs on some of these. But that is it. That is my humongous TBR list for the next month and a half. So that is all from me. Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying these videos, please remember to like the video, and if you are not subscribed to the channel already, then it would really help me out if you would be willing to just hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell so you get an upload every time one comes along. Apart from that, thank you so much for sticking with me, guys, and I will be uploading another video very soon, and it will be a reading vlog. I'll see you all in the next video very soon. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys.